Have you noticed how it's harder to focus than it used to be?
Reading feels slower.
Work feels exhausting. And even simple tasks feel harder to start.
That's not a coincidence. Think about the last time you tried to sit down and concentrate on something important.
How long did it take before your hand reached for your phone?
How long before your mind drifted somewhere else? And eventually, how long before you gave up and labeled yourself lazy?
That word, lazy, gets thrown around a lot. Many people carry it quietly, believing something must be wrong with them. But what's happening inside your brain tells a very different story.
Every notification, every quick scroll, every short burst of entertainment trains your brain to expect constant stimulation.
So when that stimulation disappears, when it's just you and a task that requires patience, your brain reacts. Not because you're incapable,
but because it has been conditioned to expect something more exciting.
Let's look at what neuroscience actually says.
Dopamine is often called the pleasure chemical, but that description isn't quite accurate. Dopamine is really about anticipation. It activates before the reward arrives, not after. Every time you open an app and start scrolling, your brain gets a small dopamine spike. Not because you already found something amazing, but because you might. That uncertainty is what keeps you searching. Maybe the next post will be interesting. Maybe the next video will be better. Maybe the next notification will matter. And your brain slowly adapts to this pattern. Over time, the stimulation threshold rises. What once felt engaging now feels normal. What once felt normal now feels boring. So when you sit down to read, study, write, or focus on a single task, your brain compares it to the rapid stimulation it just experienced.
And the task feels slow, painfully slow. Not because the work is bad,
but because your brain has adjusted to a much higher level of stimulation. This isn't a personality flaw. It's simply how the brain adapts. Months or years of constant digital stimulation can train your mind to resist slower forms of attention. You didn't suddenly lose your focus. Your brain was just trained to expect something louder. Here's how the cycle usually plays out.
You sit down to work,
but your mind feels restless. Concentration feels uncomfortable. So you reach for your phone. A few seconds of scrolling gives your brain a small hit of stimulation. You feel slightly better. Then you put the phone down and try to work again. But now the discomfort returns even faster. So the phone comes back out, and the loop repeats. With each cycle, the habit grows stronger.
And slowly, your ability to stay focused shrinks.
The tricky part is that it doesn't always feel like a bad habit. Sometimes it feels like taking a break. It feels like you're giving your brain a moment to relax. But in reality, nothing has been restored. The discomfort has simply been delayed. And the platforms we use every day are not neutral environments. They are carefully engineered systems. Teams of engineers and designers constantly test what keeps people scrolling longer. Autoplay, infinite feeds, notifications, endless recommendations. All of it is designed to keep your attention inside the loop. So you're not just battling a habit. You're facing a system optimized to capture your focus. That's why pure willpower rarely works. You can't out-discipline an environment that was designed to outsmart your attention. What you actually need is something different. Not another productivity trick, but a reset, a recalibration. So what does recalibration actually look like? It's simpler than most people expect. Just 2 steps. First, intentionally reduce stimulation for short periods. Not forever, just for a little while. Set aside 20 minutes each day where you remove high-intensity inputs. No phone, no music, no background noise. Just you and the task. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. That discomfort isn't failure. It's the signal that your brain is adjusting. Step 2 is protecting that time window. Don't wait until you feel motivated to begin.
Motivation usually appears after action starts.
Choose one task. Set a timer. Start before your mind feels ready.
The first few days will be the hardest. Your brain will resist. It may create excuses or a false sense of urgency. But nothing important is being missed.
You're rebuilding your ability to focus.
And every moment you stay with the discomfort instead of reaching for your phone, your brain begins forming a new baseline.
You might have started this video thinking your problem was focus, but it wasn't. It was calibration. The version of you that immediately reaches for the phone whenever things feel uncomfortable, that's not your true self. That's simply a pattern you were trained into.
And patterns can be changed. Every time you sit with the discomfort instead of escaping it,
Every time you choose the task over the scroll,
you're not just improving your focus.
you're becoming someone who doesn't rely on constant stimulation. That version of you is still there. If you're serious about taking your focus back, comment "reset" below.